Well, hello there. My name is Everett O'Keefe, and here we are with another Ignite Press, pardon me, book launch. I'm excited today. Apparently, can't get my vocal cords working though. I'm excited today because I'm bringing on a friend, a wonderful author, a gal who is really out to change the world and who has written a fantastic book. And she comes to us today, the author of A Fresh Start, the 5 Secrets for Creating the Total You. This book is available on Amazon today. Today is the launch day, and I thought to celebrate it, what we ought to do is bring her on and get to know her. And so let me bring on and welcome Collette Chambers Ogrizovic. Collette, good morning. How are you?
I am great. Good morning, Everett. This is an exciting day for me. How are you?
I am doing great, and it's an exciting day for me too. Anytime we can have one of our authors launching their book, especially a book that really wants to go out and change the world. You're not out here to go make a bunch of money. You are out here to help people and change their lives. And so for that reason, I absolutely love, interviewing you. So now, by the way, if anyone's watching in the audience, either on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, go ahead and add your comments to the stream, and I'll bring them up where appropriate, like this one from Althea. Wanted to just tell you, go girl. So please go ahead and add your comments. Don't you love that? Love the support of friends, family, colleagues. It really is fantastic. So we'll be bringing those up as we go. So Collette, gosh, your book is coming out today. Let me show everyone what it looks like. Okay. And right here. And so today is the launch day. And in fact, today you can get the book for 99 cents, the Kindle version for 99 cents on Amazon. The paperback is, I think, $14.95. And you can go get the book today. In fact, we'd encourage you to pick up the Kindle version of the book. And by the way, and that's true whether you read Kindle or not, because a couple things. Kindle is available on every single smartphone, tablet, laptop, desktop. You can read it on all of those devices. And because it'll be helping Collette with this book launch, and more importantly, helping to spread the message. So let's get into this, Collette. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where do you come from, and what brings you to the point of creating A Fresh Start?
First of all, I just want to send a shout out to a lot of my childhood friends, especially from the island of Jamaica. I'm Jamaican by birth, and my mom is still there today. And in the book, I talk about my father as well. My objective here with the book is to bring about hope to folks. So with my background, having had a very strong corporate background, managing a large staff, managing multi-million-dollar projects, and also leading women in an effective way, as well as a lot of my friends who know me also lead a major prayer line as well, praying with ladies, praying with men, helping folks in every way. It has allowed me to come this far. So based on my background from the islands, been to the United States since I was a little girl, and I have a large family here as well. And my mom is still there in Jamaica, work for a major corporation. And I have also a real estate background, as well as I have a martial arts background. So the list goes on that I do. But here I am today about to present to the world A Fresh Start.
Okay, so this is one of the things I love about you, Collette, is there are a lot of people who write books who want to share wisdom that they've collected, but sometimes they've collected it from a pretty shallow well, if that makes any sense. You have collected your wisdom from a deep well with a lot of pretty amazing experiences, both personal and professional. And you alluded to some of that. What what prepared you, as you came to, well, what brought you to the idea of A Fresh Start?
Very good question, Everett. Number one, life experience. And life experience comes with good and it comes with challenges. And it comes with, I don't want to say bad, because I truly believe that every challenge that we've gone through in life is a step towards being a better person. And having managed large groups and having been a manager, still a manager at a very large consulting firm, having managed multi-million dollar contracts, having lived in Japan for a year and a half, especially African American, especially a woman in such a very dominant environment, I know how to rise above the odds. It then qualified me to look at what are these components in our life that we need to make sure that they're in sync, hence a fresh start. So when I look at my life experience, Everett, there are 5 things that's in my life experience that allow me to write this. F, as we know, many of those who know me and know how I actually talk about Fresh a lot. F.R.E.S.H is an acronym. The F is for your finance, R is for relationship, E is education, S is spirituality, and H is health. What am I saying here? I'm saying that these are the 5 components we need to look at in our lives to make sure that things are in balance. For example, if you're driving your car, or when you're driving your car, and we all have experienced this, right? When you have a flat tire, you don't say, you know what? I have 3 good ones. Let me keep going. No, right?
Mm.
First of all, they're like, oh my gosh, is my spare doing well, right? So 5, right? So we have 4 tires on and the spare in the back. So I look at F.R.E.S.H as a component whereby all 5 tires need to be working very well. 4 is rotating, 1 is there's a spare. And when you look at F.R.E.S.H itself, that's how life is. It doesn't make sense for us to be very wealthy and our health is challenged. It doesn't make sense for us to be financially well, and when we look at other areas of our life, spirituality, there's something missing, right? Because you wouldn't know how to manage the finance you have, because the spiritual connection is very, very important. So F.R.E.S.H provide that life experience, Everett, so that we can look at this evolving door of your finance, your relationship, your education, your spirituality, and your health, and say, let's make sure that these things are in sync at the same time. And there are times what you may want to do is work on one and then shift to the other. And it so happened that when life challenges hit you, oftentimes one of those are impacted. But while that's going on, you want to have the antennas up to say, okay, let me make sure these things are going well. So in my book, I have many, many stories, and we can talk more about that, that talk about challenges in each area and what I did or what the person I mentor did to get things back in balance, because we all are entitled to a fresh life and a fresh start. And, you know, if you think about it, every 7 days we have a Monday, and there's Mondays like, okay, I want to look at this thing again. Right. So it's an evolving effort as we go through our fresh journey called life.
Okay, so one of the things that I love the analogy of the tires, because you're right. If we have a flat tire, we don't just drive on it. Or if we do drive on it, it's to, it's the last mile to the repair station, for someone to help us fix it. So why is it you think that we tolerate in our lives, if we've got these 5 major areas, that we'll tolerate with dysfunction or lack in 1 or 2 of those areas? Why do you think we do that?
We do that, Everett, because we are taught that we cannot have it all. If you look at the back of the book, it says you can have it all. And someone may say, oh my gosh, how? I talk about how to set expectations in each area. And as a matter of fact, Everett, the workbook is coming to complement that so folks can work through this, right? So that's going to come out maybe another month or so, Everett, you tell me. But
Yeah.
it talks about how to put the pieces together to have it all. So we tolerate it because we think, okay, I can't be healthy and wealthy. I can't be wealthy and healthy. Or if I have money, I have to act a plumb nut when it comes to my relationship. No, there's a balance that you need to strike. If you have the financial wherewithal, maybe that relationship should be stronger because you look at how to network and connect and help someone. And someone may say, you know what, Colette, sometimes if you're wealthy, you got to protect and shield yourself more. In the book, I talk about tips to manage some of those things, right? How to stay from toxic relationship and how to forgive and how to move on, because life is going to throw you a curveball. And what we're going to do when that happens, we can't just throw the towels in, because unfortunately, I have tragedy whereby others have thrown the towels in and they're not here with us today at all. And there are those who have overcome and are here to talk about it. Some of the stories in the book are people who have overcome, and I myself who have overcome. And I remember in my life during the tragedy that I had to deal with, there's some challenges. Oh my gosh, Everett, you think I did not want to give in and throw the towels in? But look what happened to my life after that. I just don't want people to give up, especially the time that we're in right now. Hope. I want people to be hopeful, because there's going to be a time when you said, oh my gosh. Okay, let me give an example. How many of you have gone through a challenge a year or two ago and felt like, I thought I was going to give in? And now you can barely remember what that challenge was and what you felt like. Why? Someone gave you hope. There's something that gave you hope. F.R.E.S.H is here to give you new, fresh look every Monday or every Sunday, whichever day you want to hit the start again, to let you come back and say, here's how we can move forward. And I think, as you said, why do people tolerate this? Because we weren't taught to have it all. And I want to teach people you can have it all. And another thing I want to explain to in the book is that you can have your finance Monday, your relationship Tuesday, your education Wednesday, your spirituality Thursday, and your relationship, your health and Friday. And what do you need to do? Maybe just take one snippet of an action that you need to take a look at in each day of the week. And you don't have to boil the ocean. It's impossible, everyone. If you sip from the cup of water, to go boil your own cup of water in the kitchen or something, right? So take a sip from your cup of finance on Monday. Take a sip from your cup of relationship on Tuesday. And the same thing for education and S and H as we go through the week. Just take one thing, and before you know it, you've created a cycle of what life should be like for you, and you're less likely to accept the abnormal.
All right. So this is so good, and I love that. That really, it sounds like we're settling, right? It sounds like many of us are settling. Many of us are probably addicted to settling,
Yes.
which is a strange thing. So in your book, do you have like a favorite story or favorite snippet from your book that you'd like to share?
Oh my gosh. All right. In my book, I talk about meet different characters, right? I would say meet my mom. Oh, that ring volume with me. My favorite story is about my mom, how she was very impactful in my life when it comes to finance, and the fact that her level of education allowed her to go beyond what anyone could ever imagine. And that's another thing too. And that's why my mom is such a phenomenal example. This book, if I may deviate a little bit, is for the PhD, the ones who haven't had education, the ones who are in between, the MDs, whatever it may be. It's for all walks of life, to touch every life, and everybody in every situation, for sure. The other story is a story about Taylor. Taylor went through quite a bit in life. Things were very challenging for her, but she made a comeback, and she did what she had to do to make life happen for her. Another story of Janet. Janet was willing to do what she had to do so she wouldn't have to settle for things, and knew how valuable she was. And she took some major actions to demonstrate and show that she is valuable. The other story, last but not least, is David. David was phenomenal. He took what he had with his wife through a journey to be better when it comes to managing his finance, and turn what small dollars he had into a major investment endeavor when it comes to his business. So I try to pull in some of the stories of walk of life from the business aspect with David and how he took some things through. And last but not least, I talk about my family who were there for me through, and friends, family and friends who were there for me through some very, very challenging time. Hence the importance of maintaining the R in your relationship, the best of your ability, because that really goes a long way. And if anything, when I want folks to take away from this is the power of forgiveness. Throughout life, things are going to happen. People are going to hurt you. People are going to love you. But I truly believe that if we look closely, we have more who love us than hurt us. But unfortunately, sometimes we focus so much on the hurt, it's hard to get through to see how many that love you. So we want to make sure we count our blessings, because once we count our blessings, we can focus on the goodness that we have on the whole. There's more for you than against you. And I want people to know and understand that.
I tell you, Collette, not only do you have a great message, you are the one to carry it. Like this is a message laid upon you, because I'm listening to you and as you highlight some of these stories, and I just think there is so much wisdom with what you're sharing. I think of those people who will concentrate on the one relationship in their life that's gone sour, or that they've been hurt or something like that, and they'll focus on that instead of the 100 relationships that all these people who love and adore them. And so thank you. I think that you're giving people a gift by helping them to kind of refocus on that.
Thank you.
Let's let me talk a bit, just help people about finding the book again. So the book right now is available on Amazon, both in Kindle and paperback format. You can get the Kindle version today for 99 cents, and I would encourage you to do that. You've heard Collette allude to some of the stories in the book. Well, you're going to have the book in order to get the rest of the story. Reminds me of Paul Harvey, right? And now the rest of the story. So please pick up the Kindle version. The paperback version is there available too, if you would like that. And again, you want to do that because the Kindle's 99 cents today, but that is going away. That is just a launch day special. So please pick that up there. So Collette, this has been a long time in coming, right? I mean, you didn't wake up last week and decide that you were going to write this book. Tell us a little bit about the journey of writing your book.
Very good question. Yes, it has been a journey. I remember going to transformation programs many, many years ago, and I was looking at my life when things were just seemed so wonderful. And I was comparing to others. I'm like, what am I doing right? And then look at what I was doing wrong. I said, what am I doing right? And I started looking at, am I saving, investing? How am I doing that? How am I doing with my relationships? How am I doing with my education? With my spirit? So I just started looking at, okay, I've gone on and had my degree, started college at a young age. I was 16 in college. By the time I graduated, I was a teenager, went to corporate America, got chewed up, spit out in corporate America because I didn't know any better, because I was so young and I wasn't mentored or trained, so mentor trained. And fast forward, stayed there for a year, went to George Washington University, did my MBA there, was still one of the youngest ones in the class. I think I probably was about 20, 21 when I graduated with my MBA. Just looking at life in a whole and see, what did I do right? And then with that, I started to look at these pieces of puzzle. I was sat with a friend of mine one day. I said, this spells an acronym. And we just looking and like, okay, this is F.R.E.S.H. So long story short, I said, oh, great. I need to keep doing this, right? I need to just keep looking at my finance and all the different acronyms. Then tragedy hit. And I talk a lot about that in the book as well. And what pulled me out was having to go back and look at those things in my life. And then along with that, prior to that, in keeping me whole, I have this, if folks can see this whole big manuscript of how I live my There's a lot of stuff in here, right? A lot of dreams have come to pass. Some people may call it a dream book or a dream board or whatever have you, but this is kind of my dream board. But with that, I start to put the concept together of, how did I mentor people? What did I do right? What went wrong? How did I correct that? Why did I not give up? Why did I not throw the towels in? What did John do right in his relationship? So I really start looking at things holistically about my journey. Other people have mentored their journey, other people into my work environment, their journey, and say, voila, I need to put this in writing. And from there, I went from this, as well as lots of books and notes of talking to people and their story and see how successful they have been, to where I said, okay, we got to get this book done. So I started this journey for quite some time. And actually writing of the book, the effort started last March. And now here we are today. So I'm telling other folks too, who has a desire to write a book, don't give up. I want to say this too as well. Our health is very important. I talk about that in the book. Without health, I could not have done what I do today. So I'm telling other folks, please take care of yourself. Please nourish yourself. Don't deprive yourself of the proper nourishment and food and rest that you need. Everett, I could have finished this book maybe 6 months earlier, but I knew that my family was important to me. My health was important to me. So there are times I had to step back and practice what I preach in the book and say, you know what? It's going to get done, but I want to make sure I'm whole in the process. So that's what I want to tell people as well. You have a desire, you have a dream, but make sure you stay whole in the process.
Super, super important, because what's the point of you just burning the candle at both ends and making other people in your life suffer just to get your book out, or to do any endeavor in your life? You're going to pay for it. Now, of course, we recognize there's always a time where life causes us to have to give a higher level of focus on something. Like if you're working on your master's degree or PhD, you got to finish your thesis, or there's times you're preparing for the bar, right, for law school.
Correct.
But only for a limited time, right? Because otherwise we lose focus on what's truly important and sacrifice those in our lives who are truly important. My hat is off to you for reinforcing life balance and making that choice in your own life in the process. Hey,
that
go ahead.
Is so, because of course, those who know me and some may not know that I'm a mom of triplets. So just imagine them, and they're toddlers right now. So just imagine trying to do all that, making sure they get nourished well while I'm being nourished as well. So hence my experience to write the book, it's there. Go ahead, Everett.
Oh no, I just reminded when we were first introduced to each other, and you were telling me a bit about your background and your circumstances, and I just remember, and she's writing a book. It was one of those things. So just incredible. In fact, at this right now, I'd be remiss if we didn't give a little shout out to Kathy Fayok for her assistance as your book coach, right?
Yes,
And
phenomenal.
helping you stay on the track, right? Keeping focused and keeping moving forward. And my hat off to you too, Collette, because a lot of authors will reach a spot in their manuscript, and it's usually right around the time that they're done, or they're putting on just the last final chapter or something like that, where they start to go, wait, who am I to be, holding myself out here as an expert on this? Who am I to be shouting from the rooftops this message? And is the message worth it? And am I worth it? And all of that. And a lot of authors go through that. And you have powered through. You have shown the commitment, the dedication to reach this point instead of failing at that spot. And I like to tell people that people who are considering writing a book have a message within them that, and whether they want to write a book or not, actually, they still have a message within them to share to people. And they are uniquely equipped to share it. There's someone in the world who will hear it best and maybe only hear it from their mouth, whether that's in writing, whether that's in a video, whether that's in sitting across a kitchen table talking to each other. And so anyway, just to say, congratulations for you seeing it through the process, especially triplets at home and in the middle of coronavirus and just all these changes going on. By the way, some really sweet comments coming up here that I'm seeing from Monica Weber, Wonder Woman, and Shanda, real life superstar, and Shantae talking about loving the message of hope, and we can do this. So really, really terrific.
Thank
well,
you.
Collette.
My own husband, without him, gosh, I tell you, and so many people who I have a few, several folks who reviewed, who partner with me, and like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So I just want to say a shout out to all of them and just thank my family, my brothers. Oh my gosh, sisters. It could go on. I feel like I'm the.
You think the Academy and.
There you go. There you go.
I totally get it. So before we sign off, if people want to get more information about you or go deeper into the topic of a fresh start, obviously they need to get the book on Amazon for 99 cents. But what else can they do? Where else can they go? Where would you direct them?
Very good question. They can go to, please follow me on Instagram, Total You Fresh. It's there. Also, they can follow me on Facebook. I like Instagram better because they can get the message. If you also need to reach me, you can also send me an email at totalyoufresh@gmail.com. You can also follow me, as I mentioned, Instagram, because I have a few interviews coming up here, Everett. In the era of finance, I do talk about investments in the book, and I talk about real estate investments as well. As a lot of folks who know me, I was nutty enough to do my first build development when I was in my early 30s or late 20s. I forgot when it was, but I was just bold and fearless to do what I need to do. And I talk about that in my books. As a result, the path took me to whereby I have 2 upcoming interviews with a major master real estate investor on the 15th and also on the 17th of July. And he has a huge following of 1.7 million folks, another audience of 17,000 followers as well. So it's out there, and I will be speaking and motivating and sharing. And they, a few of the folks from his class, he teaches the class as well, will be buying some bulk volume of my books in the workbook. So many things coming up. So yes, Twitter, Instagram, www.totalyoufresh.com. You can reach me there, as well as Gmail, as I mentioned. Follow me on Instagram and buy the book today, the Kindle version today, and follow up with the book after that, by the way.
I'm sorry, say that again, Collette.
I said I was encouraging everyone to buy the Kindle version today and also follow up with the purchasing of the book, and keep an eye out for the workbook that's coming your way within another few weeks or so.
That's right. The workbook will be coming out shortly, and we'd encourage you after you've got the book, if you have some feedback to give, go to Amazon, put a review there. Reviews really will help the message get out there, because Amazon looks at sales and the number and quality of reviews when it considers promoting a book. So anything you can do there will help Collette share her message out to the world. So this is fantastic. Collette, thank you so much for joining me today, but thank you so much more for writing the book and for doing the tough work to get to this point where the book is now out to the world. Like, can you believe it? It's out there.
Everett, if I may say this one quick thing, I tell folks I am nervous and at the same time excited. I'm nervous because people know I'm very, very private. And now here it is, I'm showing in a little bit of my snippet of my private life, and then also with others. And the fact that I'm excited because I know I can help others.
Yeah, wonderful. And I hear it in your voice. I see it in your eyes, and it just comes out of your heart. Like so. Well, thank you so much, Collette. And the way we end this is with running that little short bumper video to take us out. Thank you again for all your kind comments here about the book and about Collette and about Total You Fresh. We're just excited for this to be out to the world. So thank you so much. Take care and go grab that book. It's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.